Hello everyone, we are back again to preview the SunRisers Hyderabad for this year's IPL. Before we begin the video, if you like my videos, please do subscribe to my YouTube channel. So we are looking at the SunRisers Hyderabad today. 2016 IPL champions, a team that's been consistently making the playoffs, a squad that's known for their energy. They're called the Orange Army. How do they look in this year's time? What did they do in the auctions? Well, they didn't have much of buys, a well settled squad. A few holes to plug in. They got Mitchell Marsh. They got a few buys from the under 19 contingent of the Indian team. They've got Fabian Allen from West Indies. More or less, it seems a settled squad. They've had personnel changes. Tom Moody, who has been one of Sunrisers' most esteemed coaches, has moved on. But whom have they got instead of Tom Moody? They've got in Trevor Bayliss. Trevor Bayliss is the England white ball coach, the World Cup winning coach for England. So he's also an IPL winning coach. He's won with the KKR for 2 years. So you're looking at a strong coaching setup once again, along with the strong squad. But how does their squad for 2020 look? Let's have a look at the Sunrisers squad for this year's IPL.
One glance at the Sunrisers Hyderabad's squad for this year, you'll know how strong an overseas contingent they possess. Players with huge reputations who are coming off a decent run in the international and the other Premier Leagues that they've played in. They've got a very strong overseas core. What they possibly are lacking is a stronger Indian core purely in terms of experience. The Indian contingent here has a lot of talent, especially the batting department, the likes of Manish Pandey, Vijay Shankar. These are players who are built to be the next bright stars in the Indian white ball cricket setup. This could be a platform for them to say and unleash their entire talent there. They've also picked up a few under 19 stars, the likes of Priyam Garg, Virat Singh. It would be nice to have them play in this year's IPL, a good run of 5 to 7 games. They can just rub their shoulders with the best of the lot and then take their talent forward there. In the bowling department, the all important Bhuvneshwar Kumar. Bhuvneshwar Kumar this year, if he can rekindle his earliest stints of 2016 and 2017, those were his heydays. If he can just rekindle those days, I'm very sure he's going to be their gun bowler, not just at the beginning of the innings, but at the end of the innings as well. If Sandeep Sharma is known to pick up the crucial wickets during an IPL innings, the big wickets especially, if he can get into his rhythm right at the start, getting able support from the likes of Shabaz Nadeem, Basil Tampi, or even for that matter, if they can look at Siddharth Kaul, this team does have the temperament and the energies to make it to the playoffs and then go ahead. All in all, if you look at their squad, they are balanced well, slightly low on the experience part of it in the Indian contingent, but their overseas contingent is more or less compensates for that. It's about the right balance they strike, especially while picking their four overseas players, because that those four players are going to be the fulcrum around which the others rally around. They might be missing Shakib Hassan, who for obvious reasons couldn't be part of the IPL this year. But if they can compensate for that with every individual player putting their hands up when needed, Sunrisers do have a team to make it into the playoffs.
So we've looked at the squad of the Sunrisers. Now, what could be their best playing 11 on any day? Opening, I think there's no other guess. It has to be Warner and Bairstow, two of the best players. One can go big. One can look at playing right through the innings. I somewhere feel this year could be the year where Warner wants to play right through the innings, with Bairstow taking the charge right from the word go. Who comes in at number three? Manish Pandey has to play at number three. He's been a player who can play up the order. He's not been doing that in the recent past, but given an opportunity to him, he can always come in at number three, get settled, and then go big. He does tend to use the long handle. If he can be a bit patient, I'm sure he can do be a perfect foil for the openers. At number four, I would want to see Vijay Shankar. There's been a lot of talk. He was built to be the number four batsman in the World Cup for India. Couldn't do much there. Given a platform, this could be the year where he stakes his position to say that I'm well in the reckoning for the Indian white ball squad. Now with number five and number six, you've got to look at players who can come in there and sort of take Sunrisers towards the finishing point. You're looking at Mohammad Nabi there. Nabi is coming off a very good run in the Caribbean Premier League. He's someone who can do the job. He can come in handy in the power play. He can bowl out during the first 8 or 9 overs of the game as well. So Nabi at number 5. At number 6, I want to see Vridhiman Saha. Vridhiman Saha is one of, as we've already seen, he's one Indian player who scored a century in the IPL final. So he can come in, he can be used as a floater. He's a good batsman, he's a good keeper as well. So what it does do also make Vridhiman Saha the keeper and Bairstow can be fielding in the outfield. So this also lends another balance in terms of fielding. At number 7, you've got to have Rashid Khan. He's a wonderful cricketer. He's one of the most successful T20 cricketers across the world. He's coming off a fairly decent CPL, but you never ignore Rashid Khan. Who comes in at number 8, number 9, number 10 and number 11? Bhuvneshwar Kumar and Sandeep Sharma, the perfect new ball opening bowlers that they've got. If Bhuvi can get in his form of 2016 and 17, especially his yorkers towards the end of the innings, his knuckle balls, I think he's going to be a more than handful this year in the UAE. Sandeep Sharma is known to take those big wickets. He can come in there, bowl 2 overs in the initial part of the 20 overs, then come in handy in the middle and the death overs. So Sandeep Sharma and Bhuvi can come in there. Khalil Ahmed is someone whom has seen a lot of improvement. He was leaking runs in the first half of last year. He improved in the second half. If he can just continue that momentum, giving it a left arm angle into the overall bowling setup, Khalil Ahmed can be a potent force. And then I want to see Shabaz Nadeem. With Shabaz Nadeem in there, you're looking at a left arm spinner taking the ball away from the right handers. So you've got a Rashid Khan, you've got a Shabaz Nadeem, you've got a Mohammad Nabi, 3 spinners that they can have. So this more or less seems to be a well-rounded setup for the Sunrisers. Now how do they look at replacements? They fall short on the Indian replacements from a batting perspective, but they've got plenty of overseas replacements. Bairstow can be replaced by Kane Williamson. Look at it, you're looking at the New Zealand captain staying on the bench, but that's how the overseas contingent is for them. They've got such a strong squad. They've got Mitchell Marsh as well. They don't need a Nabi. They can get in a Mitchell Marsh. In pitches like Sharjah, he could be useful. So you're looking at a fairly decent squad. This squad with Warner's energy and Warner's captaincy can definitely make it to the playoffs. And once they make it to the playoffs, they can always look at going big and getting into the finals. So all the best Sunrisers, hoping for a wonderful performance from you this year as well.